Hi, I'm Barbara Rimkunis, and this is your Exeter History Minute. Right in the center of the town of Exeter, two rivers meet at the waterfalls. This meeting of the rivers is the reason Exeter exists. The waterfalls attracted people like ants to a picnic. Considering the importance, you'd think maybe we would treat our rivers with a bit of respect. But tragically, that's not our history. So we'll call this episode Things We Shouldn't Have Found in the River, but Did. In 2016, the old dam at the falls was removed. That summer, there was also a drought, so the water levels went way down for months, and we found a lot of stuff that had been thrown in the river. Some hardy volunteers braved the mud and heat, and we got quite a collection of artifacts from the early 20th century. Horseshoes, baby bottles, chamber pots, kitchen items, all found their way into the river. Have you ever heard of Dreen shampoo? This was how it was packaged back in the 1940s. Medicine bottles, beer bottles, if you didn't have a use for it, just chuck it in the river. A few years earlier, in 2009, the water level was dropped for a study and they found cannonballs. Where'd the cannonballs come from? Back in 1897, the U.S. government offered naval cannons to towns for decoration and beautification. Exeter got 3 cannons for Gilman Park, along with 69 cannonballs. The balls disappeared within 20 years, most probably rolled into the water following an inebriated dare. In 1929, when they were doing repairs, they managed to find 18 of them, which, again, quickly disappeared. During the study in 2009, they could only find 3. They're now safely at the Exeter Historical Society, but somewhere there are 66 more. Maybe they're in the river or, just saying, check Grandpa's basement. Probably the largest thing found in the river was a 1997 Crown Victoria police cruiser that was pulled from the river in 2007. It had gone missing from Southampton 10 years earlier after a burglary. The state police had been tipped off and divers found it just off Gilman Park under 15 feet of water. It took 3 hours to haul it out. And then in 1955, John Subjenski was bailing out his boat when he found a leg floating in the water, a human leg, described as blackened and water-soaked with a piece of string wrapped around it. Fearing this was part of some gruesome murder and dismemberment, the local and state police were called and a 2-day search was begun before a local woman realized that it just might be the specimen her husband used to keep in the garage. Her husband, who was a PE instructor at Phillips Exeter Academy, had purchased the leg from a lab to study knee injuries. She reached him in New Jersey, where he was attending a swim clinic, and he called the Exeter police to admit he'd decided to get rid of the leg and tossed it in the river. I'm sure that was a great phone call. Hi, honey. You know that leg we used to have? Remember, this was probably her normal. So here's our environmental message. Please, don't throw your trash in the river. Try not to get liquored up and dare your friends to roll cannonballs into the water. If you have human body parts stored in your garage that you want to get rid of, call a hazardous waste company. And most of all, remember that if you steal a police cruiser and try to hide it underwater for 10 years, it's a Class B felony that can get you 7 years in prison. This History Minute has been generously sponsored by DTC Lawyers. Contact them if you get caught littering. For more Exeter history, contact us at www.exeterhistory.org.